Hey, I'm Brent, and in this video I'm going to dive into a topic that really trips up a lot of makers whenever they're working in XTool Studio, and that is complex or compound vectors. And I don't really know everything about this concept, but I do know what I've experienced in XTool Studio and some of the things that this has caused problems with in the things that I've engraved. So let me show you in XTool Studio what I'm talking about, and we'll take a look at how this impacts what you engrave. So over here in the software, you can see here I've got a design that I've laid out, and this is a design for a light box. So basically everything that's in black on this side is what's going to remain, and everything that is in the white is what's going to be cut out and what I want to show through. And you can see here's the picture of the finished product that I've posted on the Atom website. So you can get that project file if you want and make this project. But so the design itself, as you can see, is pretty complex. And whenever I imported the design, I used Copilot to create that design. But then once I got it into XTool Studio, I wanted to make some tweaks to it. And you can't do that whenever everything's all grouped together. And when you first import a design, if you've bought it from a website or you've created it with AI, you'll see that it's kind of all grouped together like this, and you can't work on it. So one thing that you may do is select all, and then you release the compound like this. And if you select all, you go up and you hit release compound vector, then it would make it into all these individual sections like you can see here. Now that's something that I can work with and I can edit. But if I leave it like that, you'll notice that if I go and hit engrave, I just get this black box. That's a big problem. Obviously, that's not going to work on my laser the way that I wanted it to. So let's go back over here, and I've got two simple shapes to help illustrate what's going on here. And as they are right now, I've got the two are separate, or it's a released compound vector. And if I, of course, select both of these and I set them both to engrave, it just makes one big black box. Well, that's kind of, you might be thinking, all right, what happened to the inner block box? Well, you can see it's still there. And if I move it over to the side, it's still a shape in the canvas. But what's happening is you're telling the laser to engrave this area twice. It's going to engrave it for the interior of this shape as well as this shape. Now, one of the nice things is that if you selected both of these and in XTool Studio you select make a compound vector, it's actually going to recognize that, but that may not always work for you. So that might be something that you want to be aware of. But one of the things that you can do in XTool Studio to fix these problems, or to fix the vector so that it matches what you're actually wanting, I'm going to release this, and I'll show you on a simple kind of a simple setup on how this actually would work. So what I'm going to do is I'll take this back to a score processing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select the outer shape, I'll hold down shift, and then select the inner shape. Now what that will do is allow me to use some of these combine tools. And what I'm going to tell the software to do is to subtract. And what it's doing is it's subtracted this inner shape from the outer shape, or the shape on the top was subtracted down through the lower layer. And then now I have this single vector that is the shape that I wanted if I wanted to make this frame. So back over here to my design that I was working on. So I took on these hearts, I took and subtracted those out from this shape here. So you can see if I'm selecting just this shape here, and it works better when it's highlighted, you can kind of see, if you follow this path all the way around when it's highlighted, that creates one shape, and this is the interior of that. So if I wanted to add another heart to it, then let's pull in a shape. So under basic shapes, then we can get us another heart. So I bring that heart in. I'm going to collapse this out of the way. All right. And let's just rotate it if I wanted it to be maybe joined to this here. So what I would do is I've got that in the space. So now let's select this shape first, and then select the heart. And then let's come up here and do a subtract. So now you can see it's like this portion right here is what's not being cut out is actually kind of welded into this. So it's a subtraction whenever you're taking out of a shape. If it was on the outside of the shape and I'm joining it to it, then it would be a combine, and you're actually adding the two vectors together. So just kind of keep those things in mind, and this will help you kind of work through some of those problems where you have, maybe these layered shapes and you're not able to get the output. Your engraving would come out to be just something completely flat. Like if I was trying to engrave this on a box, it would look terrible. It would just look black like that. But now if I go back and turn this back into, make a compound vector, and then now if I hit engrave, now you see that addition that I made is going to be black. So it's going to be what's engraved. So two different ways to look at it. Could impact your engraving. It could impact how you're editing something that's going to be cut out. So hope this helps out. I hope this is something that can help you work with these compound vectors and really take some of the designs that you're getting and improve those and create something else that's really cool. So thanks for watching, and hope you join me for another video.